Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Final 8 of WGL Winter 2019. The World Championships of Warcraft found their best 8 players. And today, we have the quarterfinals. Until today, everything was best of 3, but now it's best of 5. Single elimination, no fallback net. Loser is out. Winner advances to the Final 4 in the stadium for the big money and the final Frozen Throne World Championship.
We have 8 players today, 4 matches. We're going to go to the top 4. And a few surprises here after the group stages. No Infi in the top 8. No Moon in the top 8. Who else do we have? We have HawK making it through finally into his first top 8 appearance at WGL. Long as we waited, finally he's here. And here we have him coming in. The human king of Russia. Has been in the shadow of Happy for quite a while, but now has had a really good tournament. Group A, first place finish with a 3-1. He goes up against Romantic. It's going to be a human mirror against the Crab King from China. Both really strong in this matchup. Romantic, he finished with a 3-1 as well in Group D, but he was second place.
Lin, is he the dominator of WGL Winter? 4-0 in the group of death. No TH, no Fly, no Lawlight was able to beat him, and he looks the strongest. The surprise, maybe, in the round of 8 is Czech, 35 years old, having a little break. Maybe the easiest group, but glad to see the old schooler back. He was in the first Frozen Throne tournament, and maybe in the last. Another generation, but it's one of the strongest players we've ever seen. 1-0, the second newbie player. And, of course, his undead opponent, the world champion, made it on second place in Group C. Happy. Can he be the third back-to-back WGL champion?
And because of this man, he did not get first place. HawK, surprisingly yesterday, defeated Infi in an amazing human mirror. That put Happy in second place. And with that, now he's going to be facing against 1-0. From Group D. TH, he also made it through here, had a good run in the Group of Death with a 3-1, but not unbeatable. We have seen weaknesses from the human.
Yeah, we have 3 former WGL champions. Who can do it again? 1-0 with title number 3, TH with title number 3, Happy, champ for the second time, or a new one. Can Lin finally do it? The excitement is in the air. It feels good. All of these players have $1,400 guaranteed, but from here on out, it pretty much doubles with every stage. Semi-final means $4,000. Rank 3 means $8,000, $17,500 for the runner-up, and $35,000 for the winner.
And today, especially in this best of 5, it's going to be interesting to see these players. How well have they been able to prepare in a short amount of time? Group stages ended just yesterday, especially for Group C and D. So how many builds can you really come up with? How much have you been able to hide your practice, your best builds in the weeks prior to this? Do we have some brilliant moves from these players coming in, or is it just going to be execution based? Is this going to be an interesting tell here between these players? Who's going to come up with the newest strategies? And yeah, who's going to be surprised?
Yeah, this is a lot about replay analysis. I was in the practice rooms quite a bit, and everyone is fast forwarding at like 30 times speed throughout their opponent's replays, seeing their timing, seeing their creep routes. That's, I guess, what it's all about. You can't really come up with new strategies like HawK did yesterday with the tier 3 Griffin human mirror blowing our mind.
Yeah.
TH knows about this now, though. Of course, it's going to have the replays from Infi most likely, and he will be prepared for stuff like this. So can HawK do it again? That would be unheard of. Eliminating Infi and TH back-to-back in human mirror offline, I don't think that has ever happened.
Yeah, we counted HawK out yesterday already. Is he the new Foggy, perhaps? I don't know. He seems to have this new aura around him now. Sometimes something magical happens to a player in a tournament, and he seems to be getting way further than anybody expected him to. And
yes, Foggy. Those are the big names, of course.
And if HawK should defeat TH here, go to the top 4, perhaps to the final in the end, that would be, nobody would have expected this. But he's been playing so well that he absolutely has a chance. He defeated Happy 2-1.
Yes.
He defeated Infi 2-0, two of the biggest names
Yeah.
going into this tournament. And by no means did he win because the others played bad. No, he just played extremely solidly. But that's going to be our last match of the day.
Indeed. The first one is HawK versus Romantic. Can HawK, for the first time, not only go into the quarters, but also to the semi-finals? Lin versus Czech is a Korean derby of the old people. Lin above 30, Czech 35. They were actually practice partners going into this tournament, so they know each other inside out. Czech is the biggest underdog, I guess, in this entire round of 8. Wouldn't be too surprised. That means Happy dodging Lin. He always said, Orc is my weakest matchup. There's only one. There's only Lin. We could have a rematch of last year's semifinal with Happy versus TH if things go according to plan, but never underestimate the Necromancer. Romantic. What a story this is. He was like a little bit of a shady persona in the Warcraft 3 scene, banned for a year, coming back in July, and since then tearing through online competition. 3 HawK Cup wins, 3 HawK Cup wins, and pretty much whenever he is in the tournament, he makes it into the top 8. CC Masters qualifier number 1 was his weakest performance, losing to Colorful. But apart from that, good runs. HawK, what a year. I think no one really expected this from him. Top 4 WCG, now top 8 WGL, second place W League Europe, Funny Warcraft LAN in Russia, second place as well. Here we have the picks and bans. Concealed Hill will be our starting map. Romantic picking Amazonia and Last Refuge, HawK, Echo Isles and Northern Isles. That means Twisted out and Terranas out.
A bit of a bummer for me and for many other Warcraft fans. The bigger the map is, the more likely we are to go to the super late game with high tech. Interesting that both decide to not go into this. Perhaps we're going to have more of the meta here in this human mirror coming up. Despite all the humans at this tournament, we have had quite a surprising lack of Breaker Wars so far.
Yeah.
Instead, we had this insane game yesterday with Tier 3 Griffins, shocking the world. HawK, if he gets to the top 4, he's going to shock the world as well. Nobody really expected this from him, but this seems to be his year.
Indeed. China versus Russia. Romantic versus HawK. Match number 1. It's going to be a lengthy series, hopefully. If you hear the players' opinions and the people's opinion here in Shanghai, everyone says Romantic is the favorite. 3-1 is the score we hear the most. I think, and HawK thinks, that's wrong. I give HawK the edge. We had an interview with him. It's up on our YouTube. He says, Human Mirror is my best. I feel confident. And he dodged the bullet with TH and got Romantic. Yeah, Romantic is very, very strong. He barely loses Human Mirror. Pretty much 1 to Infi and 1 to HawK. Only 2 losses in that matchup since his comeback. A lot of wins against the likes of Chimiko. Also 2 wins against HawK in HawK Cup and HawK Cup. But that was all online on netties with the ping disadvantage for HawK. So that doesn't say too much. But on paper, it is 2-0. It is 4-0 in maps for Romantic. I can understand why he's the favorite here.
Yeah, it's kind of rare to see 2 players going up head-to-head in a matchup that both consider their best and their favorite matchup. And that is the case here. So it's going to be interesting to see who is actually better, who actually has the better idea. This being a mirror matchup, we're probably going to see very similar early games, especially openings. Specifically in Human Mirror, getting an early level 3 is crucial for the water elementals. And also, mercenary support is crucial to acquire on the maps where we do have this. On Concealed Hill, that is not the case. We don't have a Mercamp, but we do have another specialty. That is the Health Fountains and also the big Ogre Lord in the middle. These are big, important points of the map that will be important throughout the entire game.
Yeah, speaking about importance, how important is momentum? HawK was fighting until the last day of his group. That was 2 days ago, though. And he came out with a win over Yumiko in a Human Mirror. So he should feel pretty good. Romantic had a great day 1. That is 3 days ago now with 3-0 score. But his match yesterday, he lost in a very, very one-sided affair against 1-2-0. Of course, different matchup. Of course, hardest opponent in the entire group. But does it feel so good. I'm not too sure. And Romantic is a guy that plays by his heart, that can be affected by momentum swings, and that could be the theme of this series.
Creep routes here mirrored so far between HawK and Romantic, who nowadays also goes by Fortitude, by the way. I hope that doesn't confuse you guys, but we have had Romantic in our heads for so many years now. Hard to shake that. Tech should be a similar speed. We had no differing creep routes. Unconcealed, we have seen quite a bit of lab creeps first as well for a big jump start to level 2 and moving on to level 3. That is normally the trade-off you do in the early game. Either you creep really heavy with Militia for heavy creeping, delaying the tier 2, or you creep lighter with slower progress but a faster tier 2 as the trade. So yeah, should be basically the same speed going towards tier 2 for the MK second, for the Breakers and the Priest with the Sanctums. That is what we expect. Are we going to see something else here perhaps?
I doubt it. HawK is pretty much a straight-up player, so is Romantic. Maybe also less expansion heavy than, for example, TH and Infi would be. So far, I'm pretty impressed.
The Militia call is late.
Yeah.
HawK is in position.
Exactly. I'm a little surprised how passive Romantic plays, and HawK, seemingly knowing this, not only interrupting this creep, but also getting a peasant with that. Oh, not really, but he will get that in the end.
But that was a big mistake, wasn't it? Why is Romantic calling these peasants so late?
I don't know.
He could have crept this camp easily at least 30 seconds earlier.
HawK is ready. He has Militia called, and the tower is up. Nice right clicks from the tower against the Water Elemental. Can only run in with one of them, and HawK has 2 up. No mana anymore thanks to the Arcane Tower. We have a little bit of a base race. Romantic losing peasant number 3, and that goes into lumber income. This means there's no chance at all for an expansion. HawK at 80 lumber himself. So the Sanctums will be late on both sides.
Romantic did opt for a wall-off here, so the AM and the Water Elements can't go in too easily. HawK did not have a wall-off, but most importantly, he had the level 3 advantage. Romantic just cannot keep up the same amount of pressure with only level 1 elementals. He has to TP back, and that of course does keep his main safe, but losing the TP always dangerous, because we know MK with Stormbolt will most likely be coming very soon.
So now the dust settles, we arrive on tier 2. HawK still with the better water elementals, could help him at the fountains. Item is a little better for Romantic, but he also invested the gold for the boots of speed. Oh, HawK keeps on harassing. Big last hit for that turtle. If he can again deny level 3, no, not this time. Romantic playing nicely around that.
I think you need to get all 3 last hits here to deny the level up. Can't quite get that, not even a single one, actually. Lumber-wise, pretty even between the two. HawK opted for a lumber mill, by the way, to get it faster here very soon.
Yeah, you need the double Sanctum, you need the Priest upgrade, you need a hero, and maybe even upgrade. So lumber is, like, usually we always talk about gold in Warcraft 3, but in this stage of the game, lumber is pretty important as well.
Yep. The way it works in Warcraft 3, in case you guys aren't too familiar, gold is what you need for items and also kind of for units. Lumber is more for technology, for upgrading to higher tiers of technology for better units in the long run in the late game. And also for structures, like for example for the Sanctums, which are now required. HawK keeps on pressuring, but we can see the altar being active, so the MK is on the way. Once the MK comes out, with the second hero support, Romantic should be safe here in his main. HawK trying to put up a little bit more pressure, trying to delay these tier 2 buildings a little bit longer, but HawK knows he can't. Oh, if he gets, oh my god. Imagine if he gets the surround.
Yeah, because the TP was gone already. There is no second one. Can't afford it at the early stages of tier 2. The Chinese, and wait. Okay, he's just chasing this footman. Nicely moving into this creep maze by HawK, not giving Romantic more experience. The poison has been applied to quite some workers, quite some footmen. Stormbolt number 1 coming in, but HawK's Mountain King arrives to the scenery as well. Oh, again, so close. Block! Here comes the Stormbolt. Here's the surround.
Does he have it?
That's gotta be it. How is he supposed to fight out that Archmage?
Oh my
Big
god.
bad booty, and HawK gets the first hero kill of the quarterfinals.
Oh my god. In a normal game, this should be the neck-breaking move. But now it's going to be up to HawK not to overextend. This is a massive lead in the mid game. Killing the first hero, the level 3 hero, takes a long time to revive again. How now do you capitalize on your lead? That is sometimes the hardest thing to realize in Warcraft. When you're ahead, how do you get the most value out of your position?
And I like that he steals the creeps from Romantic side. This shop is not that hard to creep, but gives quite some experience. And Romantic has to take a little bit of a gamble or a harder creep spot with Militia. Goes again into Lumber. He's down to 35. He still needs the Adept upgrade.
HawK is looking for it.
Wow. The scouting by HawK this entire tournament has been nothing but great. And more kills for this Archmage, closing in on level 4. This is heavy losses for Romantic. This could be game right here. Mountain King levels up. Okay, big healing. Archmage gotta be careful with about that Stormbolt. Another kill. Wow, HawK on a rampage here.
Romantic so far only GG! That's it! Romantic taps out and HawK gets the 1-0 victory. Looking amazingly strong right there. It all started with a level 3 advantage. Romantic way too late going for the Militia creep. Put him behind in the early game and HawK punishing that so severely. You cannot make these mistakes against HawK today.
Dude, it's becoming kind of a theme in more than 2 games that these turtles decide Concealed Hill. We've seen this before many times in this tournament. How HawK punished this was flawless. He saw, okay, why are the turtles still there? What's Romantic doing? That was late for sure.
Yep.
And yeah, got good eyes, this HawK.
Yeah, and there's really no reason to do this. The tech had been running for a while. Once the tech is running, you should instantly call the Militia because you can afford to not have that Lumber income. They creep up, and that is the strength of Concealed for Human in any matchup. You can take the first creep with Militia, then you move out, you take green, and then when you're teching, Militia move out and get you that level 3. And when you're level 2 because you're too late and the opponent's level 3 right outside your base, pressuring, massive disadvantage. But it was really the Stormbolt surround on the AM. HawK smartly realizing that he forced the TP earlier, and that was expertly done by HawK. Don't get me wrong, but Romantic probably isn't going to make it that easy for him again.
I think so too. And what is this Romantic play? He is usually a very aggressive Human Mirror player. We haven't seen this at all. He was creeping up the entire early game. He's usually very heavy on the footman. This didn't happen either. HawK had a 8 supply lead at some point before tier 2. He was cutting some corners, but yet no fast tech for him.
Yep.
Romantic, is he adapting to HawK? This is always a little sign of weakness. Romantic now taking a little break.
I was halfway expecting a bigger Militia creep to begin with, resulting in a later tech. That's kind of classic Romantic. Delay tech in favor of a stronger army in the early game. I guess on Concealed there's a very good reason not to go for that, because you can still get level 3 pretty reliably, but not if you call the Militia too late. I know that I'm keep on going back to this little mistake, but that little mistake really spiraled that game fully out of control. Romantic here is gonna step outside for a moment, perhaps a moment for him to reflect, and hello, here we are again, guys. Map 2, AZ, is going to be a much smaller map. It's going to be a much more predictable creep route, I would say. I mean, we saw mirrored creep routes in the first place on map 1, excuse me. But yeah, also very straightforward here with how the AM is going to move. Something we didn't see yet was mercenary usage. And there is a merc camp on AZ, yes, but AZ is like the one map that stands out, is the exception to the rule where humans don't rush the merc camp, because it's just so hard to creep.
Yeah, and it's far away as well. You kind of want to battle in the middle. Mercenary camps are on the very outskirt corners. So yeah, I don't like. Maybe there could be time for one of the players to drag out the creeps and get the Shadow Priest for that early-ish dispel at late tier 1 or something. Or with the arrival of the Mountain King to creep it fast, because it can also give you great items like a Sobi Mask or a Flute or a Devotion Aura by now.
And that's also the good thing of keeping it until tier 2. When the MK comes out, then you have the security to creep. You can go from Goldmine Natural, get level 2, move on to the Merc Camp, get more experience. But normally it's creep up as fast as you can, go towards the middle, get level 3, and then oftentimes it's kind of a battle for who's faster, and then we see the dive into the base once again. That was so successful for HawK, killing quite a few peasants in that first game as well.
I think around 7 at the end, including the last creep at the lab. I'm curious if one of the players does not go for the creeping game, but creeps up level 2 with the lab. It's so fast, you have to go for it. But then goes straight to the opponent's base and drop water elementals in that base. Force maybe a second arcane tower. Try to drag resources out of your opponent's game to get a tier 2 lead, and then expand from there and catch up with creeping once the Mountain King's out. That would be not very normal, but this is not about normal games anymore here. This is the World Championship Final 8. You have to come up with something special, and especially Romantic losing the game in this fashion. I think he's the one to do something now, to come up with something.
Yeah, I like that you mention these slight risks in the early game strategy, because that's something that we kind of don't see too much in a best of 3 series. But when 2 players go up against each other in a best of 5 with time to prepare, you don't always go for the optimal build. You don't always go for what's supposed to be best. You kind of try to go for reverse psychology. There's a lot of mind games going on. You try to go for a little bit of an edge, even if perhaps if it's answered properly, it doesn't look that good. But sometimes you have to take risks. Sometimes you have to go for a bit of a read and try to perhaps get ahead that way. But it is dangerous. If Romantic wants to play aggressively here on level 2 and doesn't find the damage, and suddenly HawK gets ahead, gets to level 3 first, then the MK comes out, then he has to fight against the water elementals with his own weaker water elementals, that is dangerous. Already losing the first map, Romantic finds himself under pressure in a deficit that most people would not have expected, including myself.
Maybe that was the first mind game of Romantic, this game 1. Maybe he showed, okay, I can play different. You expect me to be aggressive? I put you a little off. But he's fighting uphill for now, and that's always very, very, very good to get that neutral map 1, because if we go full distance, then the last map is HawK's map. And we've seen this in many best of 5s, best of 7. If you have that advantage, you might take the series in the end.
As far as first heroes go, by the way, in this matchup, there is really nothing other to expect than AM first. If Yumiko was playing, I would say, okay, maybe we're going to see one MK on Echo Isles or something, but that is so risky to do. The AM is just so good.
Both are not known for crazy new strategies. They are not innovators. They are not clowning.
Yeah. Archmage is one of the best heroes in the game. Good in the early game, and also good in the late game. Something that is pretty rare for a lot of heroes, but early game with the summons, it helps tremendously with the creeping to accelerate. And mana is one of the most important resources in the game, and of course the AM has the Brilliance Aura for increased mana regeneration.
Okay, so first big thing already is the drop from the laboratory. If you get a claw, that helps you so much. Circlet is also very good, might give you a lead if your opponent gets a bad item, but claw is what you want. If you get the dream drops with the mantle at the green spot, then you have +9 damage and more mana. Both have to hope for that for sure.
And then you probably go towards the kobolds. So if you get double claws mantle or claws mantle gloves, that is insanely strong. And there's certainly a bit of RNG involved here. Let's say you get those drops, you go across the map and you see, hey, you got double ring and the cloak. Well, all right, let's keep on trading some hits over here. So a bit of luck is involved in this game, certainly. We see a lightning shield being triggered intentionally by HawK. Can use that to creep up a little bit faster. The nightmare here is that the Renegade casts a lightning shield on his allies. Then a lot of militia will start getting hurt. And I think that was a ring of protection that we saw for HawK across the map. Versus gloves, it is for Romantic. So nobody finds the claws. Not quite so lucky.
Yeah, but I guess it's fair for now. We have to look out for the mantles now. Both arrive at level 2. HawK again a tiny bit faster. Romantic also very low on mana. HawK saves the mana for the second water elemental. So if there's a fight now, HawK has a little bit of an upper hand.
HawK has a bit more lumber there as well. Perhaps, was it only creeping with 4 militia? Perhaps he was. I didn't quite see it precisely. So the two humans are following the standard creep route, going from the level 2 creep first towards the middle, towards the Cobalt for the next item. That, plus the Murlocs that we're seeing being done here early by the Militia. Wait a minute. That is way before the tech.
Oh, HawK, can he get the last hit? Nicely playing around it is Romantic.
It's a lot of damage on these Militia.
Both are going for it, though.
Yeah. So it's gonna be level 3 here for both. We have claws for HawK, but look at the creep speed. Romantic is a little bit faster, so he's the first one crossing the middle, and now HawK is forced into a defensive position.
Nice deny, and both are level 3. This is not looking too good for HawK. Lots of Water Elementals area. Big damage on HawK's Archmage as well. Good block from this Footman, so has to go out of the way. But for now, HawK stays alive. One Footman was denied, and good save by the Russian once again.
HawK starts his tech pretty quickly. Romantic can follow up quickly himself, though, if he's paying attention and doesn't forget about it. Yeah, there we go. Remo on the case, as always.
So sick. This
Shout out
observer
once again.
is so good.
Yep.
Boots of Speed again. This time on HawK's side. Romantic not following for now. He was the one buying boots in game 1. Didn't do him any favors.
Oh, that's a lot of hurt peasants right there in the
Yep.
main.
But Romantic blocking. Feels like he stabilized a little compared to game 1.
It's only 4 footies. HawK can't really dive. Romantic, how many does he have?
More. 2 more. 5, 6 maybe?
At the very least. Oh yeah, there we see the reason why. 2 footies way hurt in the back.
Romantic is dying, but also HawK with a quick response with the Militia. But okay, here's the Water Elemental drop. The healthy Militias have to save the Footman for now. HawK is coming back. Stressful situation for HawK.
First peasant goes down. And even if not too many peasants die, the fact that they're fighting right now instead of gathering lumber still puts HawK quite a bit behind in the lumber department. In the meantime, Romantic in his main is under no pressure, so he's going to have all the lumber in the world, and this all is happening because 2 footies were so hurt for HawK couldn't fight. But that's the second Footman dying for Romantic, and that was just a bit of a sloppy misclick. No reason really to walk into that creep camp, obviously.
And
So
HawK has the supply lead. So Romantic crept level 3, and from that moment on it was all aggression. There's, like, it's rare in Warcraft that level 4 is really important. In Human Mirror, it absolutely is for the level 2 Brilliance Aura.
Yeah.
And HawK definitely is closer. Another fight. This time, Romantic's Archmage down to 50%, but HawK's gotta be careful.
And the AM being so hurt is going to be very dangerous once Tier 2 rolls around with the MK. We're still a little bit off until that happens. But the AM, as hurt as he is, kind of means that HawK cannot play aggressively at all. And perhaps Romantic will want to play aggressively himself. HawK now creeping up the Merchant. That shouldn't quite be level 4, but he's going to be close. Has a bit of an experience lead here, as we can see. Shop coming up in the back. Lumber Mill again by HawK. Once again, his secondary resource, the lumber, was a little bit low. I think that's also going to result in a later Sanctum. MK timing is basically the same for both these players. HawK once again saving a bit of mana, tanking damage with the footies. That was punished a little bit earlier. Only resulted in a bit of lumber loss though. Oh, nice little Water Elemental snipe. Gets one more Footman.
Yeah.
And these Footman numbers, footies will be falling off and will be rotated out of. But in the early Tier 2 stages, these numbers are still important. And Romantic certainly has quite a few more Footmen still alive.
Okay, Sanctum's coming. Mountain King on both sides. Region Scroll running by HawK. That is absolutely necessary. Romantic going to more important creep spots, kind of. He has a nice triangle of spots open now. Shop, these trolls, mercenary camp.
Yeah.
And HawK in the meantime, there's nothing really close to his position at the moment, going all the way across Amazonia. It's not the biggest map, but it's still time where he does efficiently nothing. So Romantic claims the supply lead.
Oh, and Romantic is coming in for the creep jack,
I think he's going for the main, for the expansion, for the gold mine.
It's daytime. He has a lot of vision range, but he didn't see HawK over there just yet. Rune Braces for the MK, very good. Protects him from spell damage, e.g. The enemy's Stormbolt. Militia coming in for the creep of the natural. Is he actually going to try to expand? This would be a really risky timing to do this. Well, 4 AM. That's very nice.
Oh, they see each other now. HawK, if he gets a last hit here, he can't. Against this Mountain King, he seriously can't. Okay, both are level 4 now. Stormbolt on this Archmage. Water Elemental denied once again. But level 2 for HawK on the MK. There's a Scroll of the Beast, which doesn't do too much in Human Mirror.
But at this point right now, before there's the spell, before there's breakers, it could still be good.
Yeah, so HawK shouldn't go for a fight at all at the moment. Even though he has this Mountain King advantage, and I guess that's what he feels, but at least... Okay, it was Romantic's plan to expand, most likely. And HawK says no.
HawK with a brilliant move there, I guess, to go to the Merc camp, to be in position for a possible expansion cancel. But Romantic... It's not really like he was far ahead in this game to expand. Was he just trying to test the waters, to go for a sneaky, unexpected expansion?
Well, with this move, he kind of hindered HawK from expanding himself. But to be honest, this didn't accomplish anything. And HawK, I guess, feels confident going for Clap.
In the early tier 2 stages against footies, that is still good. Later on against breakers will be pretty much useless.
So he feels that he has the upper hand now and can do some good work in the next couple of minutes.
AM for HawK is very far forward. If he gets Stormbolted here, this could be dangerous.
He was scouting a little. Okay, he sees Romantic coming, still creeping. For him, it's the big healing, which could be a little better. Romantic going for the surround, and it works. This should be the TP. He's, okay, halfway down. And another kill for Romantic. Close to level 3 is HawK now, though.
That was a bit of a mistake by HawK. He saw the army coming in. He really should have run out of Stormbolt range right there.
But he has the breakers now. His Archmage is healthy again. Romantic with a nice scouting illusion.
And this must be a counter TP.
Yeah. And the Chinese gets the second big item here on this map. Rune Braces we had on the right-hand side. And for the Mountain King it is Flute. Oh, wow. That's a free attack upgrade, but the stun, the stomp, I mean, no limit, and mass murder, thanks to Thunderclap.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing for that level up, to go for the level 2 clap. That did a lot of damage, but as we mentioned earlier, once it's breakers coming out, the clap really doesn't do much anymore. So yes, that timing window for the clap was amazing, but now what? HawK kind of needs level 4 to get that level 2 Stormbolt.
Because it's Clap level 2. Yeah. And Romantic is close to Stormbolt 2. With Stormbolt, you can snipe priests very easily. And in Human Mirror, it's a lot about number of priests, number of healing, number of dispels. So maybe that was a little too ambitious. Here we see it. HP cut down to 50%. Clap comes in, especially good against Footman and Militia. And of course, Priests in the bag. Slows everything down. Archmage almost surrounded again. Does he have more mana for Stormbolt? Romantic absolutely out of position. No TP anymore. He's out of the fight.
If that MK had 10 more mana, this would have been a Stormbolt surround and probably the next GG. But mana for HawK is low, especially on the Mountain King.
Romantic surpasses him in Archmage XP, another clap, but still a lot of footmen. Like, for the number of claps, it's a good number of footmen still. And Romantic is able to reach the priests now. Level 3 for this MK. Got a little bit of mana, still waiting for the next Stormbolt. HawK on the back heel. Gets a breaker though. Miss micro by Romantic for sure. And good control by HawK so far, saving a lot.
In the meantime, HawK has the expansion coming up. As long as the Russian holds here and wins this fight, this game is looking very good for him.
Archmage again, HawK threatening the surround there. Mountain King gets blocked as well. And this time there is a surround. And again, no TP. There is a potion and an invul potion though for HawK. There's the big healing. Arms raise with HP. Okay, he's not getting bashed or anything. But can he get this MK out somehow? Has to open it up. Gets the bash. Still able to move out. Doesn't close this around on the other side. Romantic has no mana thanks to all the feedback damage from the breakers. Oh, wow. What a fight between them here now. This is all for HawK's expansion. Stormbolt thrown again. Is the damage enough? Doesn't seem like it. Fireballs on HawK's Mountain King. Mountain King is almost surrounded again, but the bash comes in once more. Romantic playing with fire though. Archmage diving for it, retreating now. Fireballs from Romantic still ending up on that Mountain King on the right-hand side. Maybe he's a little too brave, but no, he knows exactly what he can do.
Water Elementals being stolen here. We have Control Magic coming in. Expansion is standing now, but it's about these MKs. HawK has to be careful. Stormbolt comes in. MK goes down. HawK down to his Archmage only. He's getting a few more kills, but HawK needs the Tavern revive now, it seems like.
I think so too. The Exposed Up Romantic is not following this. And what's this army? It's 3 Breakers and even a Berserker. HawK's army looking very good. Can threaten another surround maybe on this Mountain King. There is almost no mana on him. He's just a big footman with Bash. Right click, right click, right. Now the priests come in again, but the healing was definitely missing for quite some seconds.
That's a lot of priests though.
Yeah, now
HawK's army is dwindling little by little.
Okay, he takes care of that footman harass. HawK getting his Mountain King back, but no mana for a long time. Control magic again. Level 5 for both Archmages. HawK lacking level 4. What can he still do? How can he get back into this game? He needs to store more time for this expansion. 350 gold. He's the one breaking upkeep, but the control magic on both sides. We're playing ping pong now.
HawK has quite some good gold here. He could go for some potions or something. Of course, has the double income now. Still a very stressful game for Romantic. He had a decent fight right there, but he needs to crack this expansion. With a double income over time, the Chinese will stand no chance.
Again, closing in on 4, splitting his forces and Water Elemental into the Peasant line. There's quite some kills for him there, but the Arcane Tower shuts it down. Romantic has a timer on his game. Breaking upkeep now as well. 14 gold per second versus 7 only. And items are crucial in this matchup. HawK has the shop nearby. Romantic has not. That's level 4 though. Bash level 2.
We're seeing quite a few good bashes already now. The damage and proc chance increase.
I'd love to see the upgrades. HawK, I think, has an upgrade advantage. Not too sure though. Control magic, but that is more experience for HawK.
A lot of damage on the MK again, but he doesn't die, and he still has the heal pot. Whenever you try to go for hero kills and you don't get them, essentially it's wasted damage, but now he might get it after all, despite the Rune Bracers, right clicks coming in, and the MK falls again.
HawK losing the second hero twice. This is not allowed to happen. Romantic, are you overextending? Maybe. Oh, there's again an attack into the expansion. Supply numbers equal, but Romantic taking the lead. HawK, more losses here. Seems like he's giving Amazonia away. Retreating deep into his base.
Romantic's getting all the kills. HawK seemingly finding no return kills. These breakers, I think it's actually Romantic with the lead. HawK seems to have put all his lumber into the expansion. Ultra revive. It's going to take quite some time. This MK was level 3. And full mana for Romantic's Mountain King.
Nothing on the Archmage, so no Water Elementals. That is kind of good for Romantic, I guess, because they can't be stolen. 30%. This time the Mountain King comes back with mana. Can he threaten something? Level 6. Okay, mass teleport. No, or is it Water Elemental 2 then? He had Aura 3 before. No, it's nothing. It's GG. It's the equalizer. Romantic gets the momentum back on his map. That was absolutely necessary, though. If he loses this one, winning 3 maps in a row on 2 of HawK's maps, seems like a mission impossible. That was a task he had to fulfill.
Yeah. Promising, though, to see here that Romantic under pressure can perform and can still get the win. It was absolutely HawK in the better position in that game, just purely by the value of time. The longer this game would have gone, the better it would have been for HawK. So Romantic was forced to go all in, basically. He was forced to win the game very soon, and he was able to do that just barely. And I wonder, HawK tried to go for that MK kill. Romantic's MK had Invul Potion and Heal Potion.
Yeah.
That looked like a big overextension.
Both small potions, though. He had the big healing himself, but yeah, 2 items versus 1.
Yeah. But normally, like, when you have the double income advantage, you don't have to try to go for hero kills. The longer you extend the engagement, the more reinforcements you have coming in, and the more you're just simply trading with superior numbers, the better it is for you. So I feel like, yeah, that was a big mistake. Perhaps he didn't look in the inventory. You don't always have the time to do that. There's so many things to manage, especially on 2 bases with water elements running into your economy and everything else, moving your priests, moving your breakers, making sure your MK is not out of position. And yeah, speaking of MK out of position, that also seemed to happen once or twice. MK, despite Ring of Protection and Rune Bracers, died quite a lot right there in that game.
Yeah. Also the issue of going Clap 2 at that mercenary camp. He smelled blood in the water, he saw his chance, he did great damage, but did he get so many kills that it justifies skipping Stormbolt 2 for that one moment of the game?
It is like if you get that many kills early on and you deal with the early militia and priest numbers pretty well and you force out heal scrolls early, if that gives you the momentum in the mid game to get the big advantage to get the expansion, that can absolutely be worth it. But what it did was he was stuck on level 3 for a while and he didn't have Stormbolt. And if you factor that into the previous possible mistake of hero kill, then it seems to become apparent. You have Clap 2, you're really not supposed to go for that MK. With those double potions.
Yeah, exactly. With Stormbolt 1 and double potion, that's not really doable. But okay, he had that advantage from game 1, that he was allowed to lose this game. It wasn't a perfect HawK by any means, but if that was his game where he shows some weakness, it was definitely the game to have it. Because now, Remo, your catchphrase, I know it, we're down to a best of 3.
Absolutely.
HawK's first map coming in. But yeah, it's a lot about momentum, and I wonder, HawK, he said in an interview that he's thinking a lot and sometimes maybe too much, especially between the games, and Romantic is one of these players who loves to prolong the breaks and take this extra moment. He left the stage right after map 1. These little psychological tricks that a Moon does sometimes, a 1-0 does sometimes, and a Romantic does sometimes, especially if you're not that used to top 8, top 4 on that very big stage. Maybe he's overthinking now.
Yeah, it's important to keep your head in the game. Don't get distracted. Think about the next map. You know what's coming. We have LR, Echo, and Northern Isles left. Don't know exactly which one is coming up next, but I'm sure that they will know. Consider your next moves. Consider what perhaps could be happening, and just play what you practiced. Play what you practiced. For some players, that's not true. Some players will throw in the odd curveball and risk it all on a unusual strategy. HawK is normally not the guy to do this. Normally, he has his practice style, which he is really good with, and he's going to trust in his execution and in what he did practice these last couple of weeks. And as we saw on map 1, that can very well work out expertly.
Yeah. Again, HawK has pretty much a co-cheer, Cash, one of the strongest humans in Europe we have. Like, sounds weird because he's an AUG main race, but Cash is like the European TH and Infi, kind of. Can play pretty much every race. Good to have him by his side. And we'll see, where do we go from here? Seems like we have a little break going on. Time for you to go to backtowarcraft.com and win 1 out of 7 Warcraft 3 Reforged.
产城互动，城乡共荣。金华开发区承载着拉动经济发展的重任。临河、古桥、青石板路面，油布镇拥有一切江南古镇的标配。而它的妙处还得从早茶街说起。早茶铺子每天4点开市，6点顶费，9点谢客。热气腾腾的茶水倾泻而出，所茶的是果子馄饨、炒粉、油条。铺子门前，长凳搭着门板的桌子，总是备受茶客们的青睐。围坐两旁，与大家谈天说地，好不热闹。在古镇随意闲逛，时光已然在酱坊的一蒸一酿，老手艺人的一刀一刻中，悄悄溜走。诸葛八卦村，地势中间低平，四周渐高，四方来水形成一口池塘，名为中池。中池半边有水，半边为路，宛如九宫八卦图中的太极。诸葛村以中池为中心，8条小巷向外延伸，又派生出许许多多横向环连的弄堂，各家各户面面相对，背背相依，历经几百年岁月，依旧人丁兴旺。良相治国、良药医民的兴国济世精神，更是代代相传。坐落在东阳的横店影视城，跨越几千年历史时空，汇聚了南北的地域特色。秦王宫气势恢宏，皇城古道金戈铁马，明清宫苑飞阁流檐，色彩浓丽。清明上河图汴河蜿蜒，巷道纵横。一路上，熟悉的场景逐渐拼凑出一个记忆中的光影世界。一方水土养一方人， 一个城市的风情也总是离不开当地独特的美食文化。特色饼一条街，顾名思义，各色各样的饼类汇聚一堂。走过这一条街，似乎已经吃遍了八物美食。而金华火腿则以肌红脂白闻名于世。美味的食物总能让平凡的岁月变得美好起来。人们寄情于美食，留恋的除了味蕾的享受，更多的还是味道里的记忆。正可谓行走于人间，相如以滋味。是谁来自山川湖海，却又于昼夜、厨房与爱。
出城门往南走2里，再往东走2里，旁边应该有座桥才对啊。桥呢？我不会是迷路了吧？哎，哦，兰若寺。3更半夜，居然还有人，不会是鬼吧？哦，算了，还是走。
1血不慌，2血健康
，3血抽口也无妨。
你是什么人？3更半夜在干什么？
大哥，你男的？哎，不好意思，刚才你是不是在念什么口诀？难道咱们是同道中人？
呵呵，同道中人，那我看你有没有这个实力。
哎，在下苟采臣正在赶赴金华参加本次黄金赛，是要夺得冠军。
哦，苟采臣，在下聂小钱，幸会。
幸会。
苟兄，你有所不知，此地乃修炼如石之洞天福地。
哦，
今日你我既然有缘，不如在此大战300回合。
正有此意，
请。狗兄，我去引开他们，你从旁边撤。哎呦！你们这帮臭虫，还真是阴魂不散。
聂小钱，识相的就把大咖老叔交出来，我们给你个痛快。
你以为你们人多就肯定赢？有种你们一个个来。
我们有8个人，凭什么给你单挑？有抢了你的秘籍，黄金迟早是我们的。
大胆狂徒，光天化日之下，居然想谋财害命！
狗兄，我不是让你先走。
兄弟有难，我岂可袖手旁观？何况我又不怕你们，来打我啊！打啊！打啊！哈哈哈哈！还好我昨天晚上又叠了几层甲。你们几个不是要秘籍吗？来，过来啊！
什么？
哎，你们都看到了啊！我可是把秘籍告诉他了啊！但是你们8个人只有1个人可以获得秘籍，你们记住，只有1个人可以获得黄金哦，只有1个人，只有1个人可以拥有黄金哦，
黄金是我一个人的啦！黄金是我一个人的啦！黄金是我一个。
兰若寺，
哎，真是个有趣的地方。走，去金华。
狗兄，这次金华站的目标是冠军还是火腿？
冠军啊！
冠军有我在，你想都别想。
啊，走着瞧。
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with match number 1 here. The best of 5 between HawK and Romantic continues. We had some issues with the computer.
Exactly. Don't exactly know which one it was, Romantics or HawKs, but should be hopefully resolved now. We are in an exciting best of 5 here. If you just join us, it's 1-1, so down to a best of 3.
To a best of 3 indeed.
2 more maps here for both these guys. We're going to have Echo Isles, Northern Isles, and LR left.
Yes.
And especially LR showed us or provided us with an exciting, really exciting human mirror yesterday when we saw HawK defeating Infi. That was quite the outstanding performance with a super entertaining style as well. Have they seen this? Has this influenced them? So far we saw pretty much standard play. We saw mostly break awards. Some expansions were involved, but that didn't work out for HawK. Despite the double income, he was killed off there in the last game. So now Romantic, with wind in his sails, a bit of momentum going into map 3.
Yeah. What did this break do to the 2 players? Did it stop Romantic's momentum? Did it give HawK some time to think, or did it make him think too much? There's a lot going on in the minds of these pro players in moments like this. We go on to map number 3. Will HawK take the lead once again, or will Romantic take maps back to back? Russia versus China continues. In the upper right, we have the LP Club player, teammate of Focus and Colorful. It's Romantic. And HawK, former MTW player, still looking for a team. And I guess with his performances here in China this year, could be that someone picks him up. They definitely should. It's HawK.
So far we have seen very similar builds, very similar openings, and mirrored creep routes for the most part. But this might start differing here now, as Romantic, judging from the altar positioning, might be looking for the quick level 2 and the quick way to level 3 with a delayed tier 2 tech. Heavy emphasis on early strength and creeping, delaying the tier 2 tech for that. That is kind of classic Romantic.
Okay, yeah, indeed. Lots of footmen, big pressure. HawK, what's he doing? Alta is definitely in a different position, so maybe more patient, more careful, more conservative. And I guess that's alright. He must know that it is Romantic style to be right in his face, and he has to prepare for that. Don't take too many risks, don't expose yourself to the flood of footmen that will come in early.
Yeah, question is, does Romantic walk across the map before level 3 or not? I would imagine not. Level 3 is pretty good to acquire here on Northern Isles. You take the Magi camp first, or Tuskards, get the level 2 there right away, and then green, 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 and boom, there you are, hitting level 3 at a good time. And you can even take one of the greens well with Militia. So I feel like Romantic's creep route should work out pretty well. HawK, he's gonna have a tougher time reaching that level up, unless, hold on, he's actually creeping the gold mine first with 6 peasants. Look at the lumber, 150 for HawK. This could even be an early expansion, but on maps without merc camps, that is really dangerous.
Yeah, I don't see that. I think it's just a level 2 and a possibly good item, and then retreat, tech, and then if you get a first good fight in the middle map skirmishes at the beginning of tier 2, and snare. This is an instant footman loss for HawK, or is it? Yeah, should be.
That hurts. That's an unnecessary mistake right there by HawK, to be honest. It slowed down the creeping at the very least a little bit, but that's not really a worthy trade. Level 2 for both these guys. We have a Periapt for HawK. Okay for the MK later, but not good for early game trading. What you want is damage right here.
So, nice block by HawK. Okay, it's maybe little moves like this that can bring you back into the game. Oh, now he's blocking himself. Unfortunate. I guess this is another kill. I'm not too sure. No, supply not dropping yet. And now it's about last hits here.
HawK could tech right now. He does have the resources.
Would be quite a bit faster, and he does.
Oh,
Gets
surround!
the surround on the footman. Okay. Tier 1 unit kill count is 1-1, and HawK is back in this game. interrupts Romantic's creeping, and techs a lot faster.
Opting for the boots now next. Has to wait a little bit longer till he has the gold. They become available at 1900. Kind of surprised that Romantic actually isn't looking for them because he wants to be aggressive. We asked the question earlier, is he going to wait for level 3 for this? And the answer is no.
Oh, did we talk about the big mana yet?
Is he going to pop it for only level 1 elementals? This item can be amazingly strong if you can keep it until the late game for the Mountain King when he's level 3.
This game, the militia creep is in time. HawK not going for it yet. He has this camp for himself too. And Romantic is claiming the Murlocs on HawK's side of the map. I like that move from Romantic. Being aggressive, putting HawK back a little, then retreating also just a little, but getting stuff done.
Yeah, just this creep route and map movement seems to be a little bit better for Romantic. And here comes the level up.
Oh, wow. Mantle as well. Level 3. Very good early game. HawK is struggling with his levels. Doesn't have the best items.
Yeah, and where is HawK going to get the level? Of course, he could get level 3 at his own Tuskar camp, but he would love to save that for the MK. Always a great camp to creep solo with the second hero. But for now, HawK first has to hold on to these water elementals.
Yeah, he has to withstand this pressure now. This is exactly what he was preparing for. This is exactly what he prepared for. So what to do now? Lightning Shield on the militia! Oh, wow! This is such a great find! HawK's in trouble.
I'm pretty sure he's going to pop this big mana. Keeping up the pressure here could be tremendous.
Almost getting a surround. That could have been the TP. Lightning Shield is over. Big damage. Only 1 kill and level 3 for HawK.
Okay, that's important. He got the last hit on the enemy elemental.
He handled this really well.
Yeah, this was looking way scarier.
Yes.
Why didn't Romantic commit more with the footies? That surprised me.
Maybe you're scared of that surround? Not sure. Regen now on the Passons, on the works, because he knows that this can happen again, but HawK blocks the way with the water elemental. Romantic can't get in. Yeah, Lightning Shield is good now as well, but it only does limited damage. Now he sends the Footman in, interrupts the healing, but once more HawK deals with it nicely. Lightning Shield on 1 Passon. Good that HawK used the Scroll of Regen before. This will only result in 1 kill and another Footman kill.
So I think there was a total of only 2 footies, 2 peasants dying. That is surprisingly low, but it was also a lot of militia time. This cost quite a bit of gold. Perhaps we're going to get a gold mine check here soon. And it delayed the Sanctums. Sanctums are coming up for Romantic. Oh, we can steal this one. This would be outstanding for the Chinese. Who's going to get the last hit? Who's going to get the item? Both going to Romantic.
Oh, wow. Both consumables on this map go to the Chinese. That's massive. It's only the heal potion. HawK survived the mana potion that has been used before.
Yep.
But yeah, not having one of the best potions here on the map for himself. And now 30% lead on this Archmage. HawK, despite the fast tech, is late with the second hero. Oh no, has the second hero. Sorry, Romantic is a little late with this.
So, priests are coming, and they are a little bit faster for Romantic, but not by that much, to be honest. But every little bit of a lead can matter, especially if you go towards the middle. These 2 middle camps are absolutely crucial. Big drops, big experience, and HawK, just with his MK timing advantage, gets at least 1 of these, and that's important.
So far, HawK was really unlucky with his items and gets the Scourge Bone Chimes. The theme continues. The Claw is okay, I guess, but that's the only one. Now, level 3 permanent item for Romantic. Ooh, Tower. Is it time for an expansion again with that lead? I'm not sure if that's the right thing. Is he really that far ahead? HawK gets both items.
Yeah.
And the middle, because Romantic is investing this time. Could still be a creep jack.
Oh, yeah, Romantic is coming. It's not that much damage here from HawK, actually.
That creep camp decided Sock versus Infi.
Where's the Water Elemental? Okay, there we go.
Oh, he's coming though.
MK coming in. Stormbolt ready. Who's going to get the last hit?
It must be HawK at this point. Romantic disabling. So close. HawK gets it. Mana Stone. For once he's lucky. Needs to pop the invul on this Mountain King though. Soon. Really soon. Oh! Stormbolt on the Archmage now. There is a TP and the potion. What's he going for? The potion it is. And wow. Heal Scroll. He wants to stay in this fight. No, now TPing out.
That creep jack though.
Earlier. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. Despite the good item and getting the last hit. He's down 14 supply now.
Yeah, HawK lost at least 2 priests there. Maybe it was even more. And now the expansion is coming
And the
up.
TP. Yeah, in the end, this was a great timing for this expo. HawK, how are you supposed to cancel this now? Level, again, a little ahead with that level 4.
But he has no army.
But
HawK
he
has
army.
no army to do anything right now.
Also
No footies
gold.
anymore, no priests. Well, 1 priest, okay. But
Has
no
to call
breakers.
Militia for the lab. And Romantic smells it again. Stormbolt on the Water Elemental, I guess, or Priest. He can't get these creeps done. It's impossible. Has to run. Has to run again. Boots on the Mountain King to get out. Stormbolt hits him though. How good is the follow-up? Level 4 now. Oh no, HawK! 3rd Mountain King kill for Romantic in 2 games in a row. Ouch! Ouch, ouch, ouch. GG.
Oh. That creepjack broke his neck. It started off earlier with a pressure towards the main, but that didn't seem to be that terribly impactful. Romantic goes for the expansion again. This time it works out. And HawK, a little too greedy. A little too greedy. With an army that small, without a water elemental ready right away, you really shouldn't go for that warlord.
Yeah. Second human mirror where this decides pretty much the game. Same as Infi vs HawK. We see it here now. Great timing by Romantic though. Gets the expansion creep done in time. Knew that this is happening. I don't know if he scouted it or just went straight down.
And also the opening build here comes into play. Both players went for the 6 militia creep for the level 2 right away. But the nice thing is, if you don't creep the expansion first, then you can creep it later with the MK with militia. And depending on what situation you are in the game, if you're far enough ahead or a little bit, you can expand right away and then move towards the middle. And as we saw here, if you're a little bit late to the middle of the map, you will have lost 1 camp, but the second one you can contest. And probably the second one, if you find the creep jack, you're going to be ahead in. So I think the build here, the creep route, just looks a little bit better for Romantic.
Romantic played it very well though. Never gave HawK the chance really to do something big on his side. The lightning shield was a great thing to have to keep him stuck to his base, constantly threatening peasant kills everywhere. And then in the retreat, stealing camps, always. The Murlocs first to get that lightning shield in the first place, and then the big consumable at the Tuskars. Romantic is playing really smart, gotta say that. Map 2 and 3, that was definitely better games from him.
Yeah, map 1 looked a little bit shaky by him there, not getting the level 3 as quickly as he was supposed to. Map 2, losing 1 or 2 footies unnecessarily, but ever since then, Romantic seems to have found his groove again on stage. And HawK with this great splash and beginning map, getting the lead, seems to be falling a little bit further and further behind here. Echo Isles, our next map, HawK's choice.
2 maps in a row for the Chinese. HawK, your tournament life on the line. We're so proud of you already. 2 Westerners in the final 8. This had never happened before. Can we make this a full-out best of 5, as we'd love to? HawK spawning in the upper left, Romantic in the upper right, again leaving an opening. So this must be Merc, right? This must be super early mercenary camp Shadow Priests for the first time in this series.
Yeah, this is one of the maps where normally the creep route is very set in stone. You go for the Merc camp early, you go for the level 3 creep early with militia at the expansion. And if you want to, you can decide to expand then early on tier 1. Some players like to do that, some players don't. I'm sure if this was Infi and Stock playing, they would love to go for a fast expansion here. Are these two as fond of early expansions? I don't think so, but could certainly be an option. This is also the map where once every blue moon we see an MK first, but again, that is very player specific and not what we expect from these two.
Still hoping for it, huh?
We're gonna see it one day. Well, we have already seen it in the past, but yeah. Is risky if you fall behind, if you don't have the enough to spell, suddenly Water Elementals overrun you. AM just all around in every matchup, the more reliable hero.
Romantic sends the militia out. HawK doesn't, so a little less lumber for the Chinese.
What's the plan here? Does he want to
Steal
steal?
the Shadow Priest.
But
Oh, I get flashbacks to WCA 2014. HawK was playing TH there, and
Wait.
TH stole 3 rounds of Shadow Priests. So it was 0 versus 6.
But this is not reliable. If the AM and footies just attack the peasant and kill him off before, this is going to cost effectively a lot of lump. What?
What?
Gets a Shadow Priest and sacrifices the peasant? That I don't think I've seen before.
Wow. Rushing the Merc camp. No, me neither. Down to 50%. Okay. But what is this? HawK must be like, huh? Is there a bug on this map?
What this also does, though, is that the creeps actually don't use their spells, so no slow, no purge.
Yeah.
Kind of what we're used to seeing from the Rock Golem trick.
Which is, of course, good for HawK now.
Kind of cool. Okay, interesting.
And Romantic only creeping the little green and rushing over. Shadow Priest comes in for the dispel. Is there enough damage? It could be big damage.
It's
Also be big experience. He has to say, oh, there we go.
He goes for the new one. That's really cool. He knows the other one's about to expire. If he gets his last hit, this would be insane. HawK gets it.
Parry up again. Claws for Romantic.
Oh, wow, and he can steal those claws as well? This is a super cool opening by Romantic, actually.
200 IQ human mirror opening. Wow,
And
that's level 2. It's gloves.
Wow. That is so smart. That every human has to write this build down. This just seems to be the best thing ever.
I think HawK got the last hit on the Waterman, though he's slightly ahead.
So who's taking faster?
He invested. It must be HawK, right? Militia was used. Shadow Priest was bought.
Oh. One peasant's gonna die.
Okay. Not getting the Water Elemental, not getting the experience.
And
Whoa.
Romantic
Oh
is the
my.
berserker.
As I said, I'm getting flashbacks. This is looking really bad.
How smart is this? He steals the Shadow Priest, then he pressures the main. Perhaps he kills something. He steals the claws, and then knowing that he's in the main, HawK has to be in the main defending. So then, with that, he has one unit at the Merc camp, steals the Berserker. Amazing, amazing opening by Romantic.
Yeah. Completely new moving, like
It's
movement on the map.
3 Mercs versus 0. That is a disaster.
Halfway there, as I say.
HawK at least has more experience. That's the one thing he has going for himself. He's going to get level 3 here. But
And in the mid game, the Mercs don't do too much anymore.
But if Romantic gets his own level 3 up here, then there's not really any advantages for the Russian.
Gets the one consumable as well. Big invul. Okay. Never bad. Claws for HawK again.
Is he level 3? He's actually level 3. He's perfectly level 3. And he's in position to pressure the main again. Wow.
Yeah, bye-bye shop. Or? Should be. There's mana for this level 2 Water Elemental. Is that a priority to him? With so much piercing damage. Yep. Can't go for clarity. Wow. HawK is completely overwhelmed.
And the AM by himself here can't really do too much. HawK has defend that's important against all this mercenary piercing damage.
Yeah, absolutely necessary. Everyone here saw Romantic as the favorite, and now it shows why. Good block again. This is more experience.
So, absolutely tremendous early game by Romantic, but he invested a lot into Mercs, which aren't going to be the greatest later on. So if HawK can just stabilize now, get his MK out, get his breakers out, that should still be good for him. But look at the map. On the left-hand side, on HawK's side, there's so much crypt. On the right-hand side, Romantic has so many camps remaining for this MK.
And Romantic gets both of the unique ones. But maybe that was a little too ambitious. HawK, you need the right click of a lifetime. Nope, not happening. But Dispel's raining on this Watchman. At least he gets one priest. And the Archmage is low. Watch awards, by the way. Phenomenal items continue.
HawK has the boots. That's one of his few advantages this game, so he might be able to get some more kills. Looks like that footy is certainly going to die. I think he denied it actually, with the Berserker right there.
Romantic is quite low with his Archmage. That could be a TP or invul.
Oh,
This is the block.
oh, he's got the boots. That's a TP. Or the invul.
Yeah, TP it is.
I like how HawK just runs away from the explosion. He's like, yep, either TP or invul, whatever. You gotta go for one of the two.
With that TP gone, oh, he's stuck. He is stuck. Ooh, this is kind of what HawK needs. Mountain King is ready, but Romantic is going to be supply stuck by killing that farm, or needs to power build, which costs some resources. These boots, Remo.
The boots!
The boots bring HawK back into the game.
Amazing item. I've been telling you guys.
But how can he capitalize now? You don't want to play it too risky.
Creeping the gold mine looks
Yeah.
like the most likely
I think so
play
too.
right now, and perhaps look for creep jacks. Priests should be a little bit faster for Romantic, since he's... Oh, they're here already.
Tower again.
Is he what? Does he want to expand again?
Yeah. I think so. Despite the TP,
There's a bit of a supply lead though, and these mercenaries are still good at this point in time.
bit of a cancel going on. Wants to take out this Berserker. Mountain King again far forward, but HawK playing it a little more careful. Storm bolts on both sides for Romantic, which results in the kill. Deny not happening.
Romantic is he really going to commit to this creep? This would be dangerous. HawK is right there.
HawK is getting reinforcements, but no militia across the entire map. That doesn't really work. He is expanding himself now.
Oh!
With 7 supply down.
He has the resources. Oh, starting this camp. I don't know about this, HawK.
Me neither, but if he gets the item and the big one, it's good, and it is.
Another
Claws of attack once more. Really good for sniping priests later. He has a potion and an invul on this Archmage, so better not focus him. Stormbolt, is he following up with a surround? No, he's not. No mana.
I am going deep
On
for this
Romantic.
priest kill.
Okay, disabling the Mountain King before throwing another one. He gets the priest kill and starts this expo.
Alright.
Same position as in Amazonia, I guess.
HawK very
No.
close to level 4. Well, both are actually.
Romantic sticks to the expansion plan. Despite this fight,
Pretty cute, this one ivory tower. Not that expensive. And you want to get that arcane, of course, quickly. Shop control for HawK, very important.
exactly. What you also want is the shop control. He got it on Northern Isles. That didn't help him too much. I'm still worrying about his army. Levels are okay.
If
Except the Mountain King.
HawK gets a cancel here, even if it costs the TP, this is going to be very good for him. He is swinging around the bottom side. Wants to come in as a surprise towards the gold mine. That should be working out. Romantic is close by, but maybe not close enough.
Tower down. What about this gold
Must be a
mine?
cancel.
It's no power build anymore.
Oh.
It's going to be close, but HawK gets it. If it's a TP, it should be fine. Mountain King is in trouble, though. Does he have the invul? Yes, he does. Priests are falling for HawK, but gets a revenge kill, and this expo cancel is definitely worth it. Level 4 for him as well. Level 2 Brilliance or a Priest getting sniped. This one should be a kill. Is HawK staying in this too long?
There's no mana anymore for the MK for Romantic, so actually not that easy to snipe priests. One more might fall. HawK is getting so much done here with seemingly a much smaller army. This delay is tremendous. Now taking out even more peasants. He's gonna have to fall back at the end of the day, but he knows exactly how far he could push right there.
But the Mountain King levels start to worry me. An entire level ahead now. There's a Stormbolt soon. He shouldn't just stand still.
Question is Romantic gonna follow him all the way to the gold mine? He hasn't scouted this yet, and being so close, this is very... Oh! Stormbolt!
Okay.
Very surprised he didn't go for the Stormbolt right there.
Wakes up the... Oh, and snare again!
Romantic only has to look around the corner. He's gonna see this expansion. 100%. HawK, 37 supply only. Wait a minute. Romantic, are you seriously not looking over there?
No. He's focusing on his own expansion again. HawK now has more mana. Less army, but more mana. And this time, Romantic is not as... Okay, now. He wanted a different position. Doesn't want to be in that choke, as he has the bigger army. That makes sense. How can HawK hold this? with a tiny army like this. The Arcane is helping. Faster reinforcements is helping. Possible to call Militia, that's helping as well. But is that enough?
Yeah, and does he have the peasants still in the main is the question.
Yeah.
He used a lot of them for the expansion.
Little bit like Amazonia, where Romantic broke HawK after a while.
It's a lot of mana burn.
Instant focus on the Mountain King. The Breakers are doing a good job. It's no mana on this Mountain King anymore. Invul Potion even.
Yep, dodge the Stormbolt. That was the big one, right? The big
Yeah.
one gone.
Yeah. And he has no TP, no Invul, only a heal potion. The heroes...
Oh, that Stormbolt is big. If he gets this Berserker, that's a lot of damage gone. And get it, he will. MKs both under a lot of pressure. Finally level 2, eats the Stormbolt.
Oh, there's a potion. Needs to use it soon.
Oh!
Last second.
Oh my goodness.
Is that
And
about
the
to get the surround? But can the Mountain King survive? He needs that. No TP on Romantic. There's a potion, so we will stick in this a little longer. Mountain King safe and ring around the rosy. Invul Potion has to open that surround for it though.
Romantic stole the Water Elemental, which blocked the surround, and then that way got out of there. Otherwise, AM was gonna die. Clutch play to save the first hero.
One for the highlight reels for sure. These human mirrors, they don't disappoint this WGL, Remo.
Even in supply. Breaker numbers are rising. Romantic.
That's good for HawK, right? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think HawK has the upgrades. We saw the Blacksmith earlier from Romantic. I'm not sure HawK has him.
but he was pretty much down in supply the entire game. But of course, these creeps left on the map. That's the big advantage for Romantic. Closing in on 5 and 4. 5 and 3. Wants to push this. Still the TP. Mountain King is low. Aiming for that Archmage once again. No surround this time. Also no block. Level 3 Mountain King for Romantic. Big Stormbolts.
We got quite a few MK kills earlier, but for now, aiming for the priests instead.
Water Elemental is taking care
Oh.
of this peasant line. Archmage again in trouble. And this time he dies.
Was that the bash?
Old man falls from the horse, but if he gets the revenge kill, that might be for nothing. Mountain King is surrounded. Can he fight out somehow? Doesn't seem like it. It's only a level 2 hero, and HawK loses his Mountain King for the fourth time in this series. But it's all about mana. It's all about healing, and the Archmage provides aura. Mountain King is not scary without the Brilliance aura here.
Has to be a Tavern Revive. HawK certainly has the resources for this. Getting more kills as well. MK must be back soon. Romantic doesn't have the money for the Tavern Revive. This AM loss.
Mountain King saved the heal scroll, which I think is very smart. Level 5 Archmage for HawK all of a sudden. MK comes back. Could be level 3 aura. No, it's not. Costs the Breakers more mana to take over the Water Elementals now with level 3. And HawK smashes this fight for now. Hurts all the peasants, even if he doesn't kill the Town Hall.
He had the invul. Was it really the bash that killed him?
It must have been the bash,
It seemed like that stun was lasting too long. RNGesus coming in on HawK's behalf, as it seems.
HawK takes out every single peasant. Romantic sniping reinforcements with quick reaction from the Russian. A little bit more damage. Can he hang in to kill the Town Hall? Looks like it. Romantic is engaging too late, and the second base falls for the second time.
And now it's looking great for HawK to get the 4th map, and with that the 2-2. Hero kill seems to be the only option available anymore to Romantic, but he's getting his own hero surrounded. Invul transfer, but he can hold that surround if he wants to. HawK, can he fight out? Heal scroll.
7 seconds. There's a lot more. There's a lot more for HawK. Heal scroll used. Archmage gets out, but barely bash again! The double bash is the double G's, and this is game number 5. The nerves of HawK.
Man. Really well
After
done.
this early game, this was one of the smartest early games we've ever seen in a human mirror.
Yeah.
HawK, yeah, must have been mentally influenced by this. Like Shadow Priest gone, being 3 versus 0 Merc
Yeah.
purchases.
Super tough early. Brilliant opening by Romantic. Absolutely love that. I'm sure we're going to see that more in the future. But Romantic, HawK fighting his way back really well. What won him the game there probably was him with his just handful of units delaying for as long as he did, getting the cancel, swooping around from the bottom side. And Romantic still was in an okay position, but he made a few mistakes. You can look for that run by. You can easily split away one of the footies. He had the bigger army. If he had been in position, he could have defended. And most importantly, the AM loss. Of course, it's easy to blame it on the bash preventing the invul, but the AM shouldn't be in that position in the first place. If you see the MK coming into range, you should walk away with your AM. Of course, I realize it's easier said than done, but these are two of the best human players in the world. And yeah, HawK just finding the one or two slight mistakes by Romantic, gets his way back into this match, playing it really well, showing he is absolutely a top contender here in these top human mirrors.
And there was one difference. I mean, it was a pretty similar game to AZ. There was one difference. It was no clap. It was Stormbolt 2. It was hammer to the head. It was surrounds. And it was a lot of kills for HawK this time. Made the difference in the end with great timing. Funny how this momentum swings throughout the entire series. 1-0 HawK, then 2 maps in a row for Romantic. Now the equalizer, and now game 5 on a Romantic map. We gotta say that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Last Refuge. Ooh,
Exactly. Last Refuge, one of those maps where normally the creep route is pretty set in stone. We have an early Merc camp, which is so valuable that nobody really wants to refuse getting that. Then again, we thought of Echo Isles as well. And what did Romantic do? He stole the Shadow Priest, didn't creep his own, played aggressively with level 2. It's kind of, you know, Romantic special, but still rare to see. Is he gonna have such a brilliant opening once again, or what's the plan?
But I guess with the Rock Golem, you need like 2 units to steal it.
Yeah, I guess
right away.
Yeah, if you
this doesn't really work at this camp.
Yeah, you can't do it the same way. You can't just walk in a peasant and then hire the Shadow Priest because he's gonna get bouldered, boom, and dead he is.
HawK, can you make it top 4 WCG, WGL back to back? That would be by far the best year of his career. Always flying a little under the radar of other Europeans. Either Yoss or Foggy or Happy, but he could crown 2019. He's playing for more than 10 years, knocking on the 30, as many of us in the scene. 1 map for the grand final on Saturday in the stadium here in Shanghai. Romantic on the left, HawK on the right. 1 map for glory.
We saw expansions here on map 4. Not that early, was rather on tier 2. LR is the most popular fast expansion map. You go for the Merc camp early, you creep around your gold mine, you get level 3, you have the Merc support, always with the farm. And we saw an amazing human mirror here yesterday between Infi and Sok, with pandas, with tier 3, even with griffins. And Sok surprised us all. HawK could surprise us as well. As you said, most people expect Romantic to get the victory, but this is a super close series, neck and neck. And LR will decide it all for who goes to the top 4.
Yeah, as I said before, these 2 players have met twice. Romantic was always able to get 2 maps and take the series. HawK has already won 2 more maps than ever before. It's the first time he takes maps off of Romantic, now that the ping is obviously even. He showed that he can withstand the pressure, and I think it's good that there's no break now. He can stay in that flow. He takes the momentum onto map 5. And let's think back to yesterday. On this very map, Romantic played against 1-2-0. The first map of that series was very close, but then he fell apart. And I wonder if this will happen again now that the pressure is so high.
So here we see what we talked about at the beginning of this match. Creep route here is just so good for level 3. You go for the Merc camp early, then you move towards the smaller camps outside. You have the Merc support already, and you get little by little to level 3. Now again, RNG is always a factor in Warcraft 3, and the first big item drop here is quite determining. Robo the Magi and Zoe Mask
Devotion.
are pretty insane. Devotion is also extremely good.
Flute. It's something +6 for Romantic. Belt. That's not good.
That's probably the worst one.
HawK. No stat boost.
Is that the Sobi?
Oh, Devotion. Wow.
That's really
+2 armor on everything. It's a constant scroll of protection throughout the entire game. He will not sell this. It was a meme item. And then Blizzard came Made it 2 out of a 1, and all of a sudden, everybody loves it.
Yeah, one of the few items in the game, which is always good. No matter what army you have, no matter what strategy you play, armor, damage reduction, always valuable. Finding even more armor here is HawK with the Ring of Protection, so is MK on tier 2 is going to be quite tanky.
Subtle is good, ring is okay.
No tech yet.
Once again, a little question, like when will we see the techs, when will we see the expansions? Romantic is very low on lumber, I assume.
HawK is
tech.
trying to steal the Berserker.
Romantic is there, he can buy it and then like just prevent it. Yeah, gets, no, Romantic got it, okay. He can get his own one, of course. It was a nice attempt from the Russian. HawK has the lumber and gold now for the tech, uses it immediately. Did Romantic tech?
I think he must have just started. His lumber is very low as well.
Now, yes, it's low for the second time.
Yeah, brings back the militia. No early expansion. Okay, very different from yesterday's game between Infi and HawK. Sentry Ward, very nicely placed. It's going to tell him about creeping. It's going to tell him about army movement. And HawK is the first one to run across. There's no tech yet?
What did he spend?
Romantic, where's all your lumber?
And again, HawK finds the worker so hurt. Here's number 1. There's number 2. There's an opening as well. Where is the lumber? Where's
Did he forget to make peasants?
Where's his resources? Well, he needs to make some more now.
That is a catastrophe for Romantic. What happened with his macro?
He forgot it in game 4.
He has one more Shadow Priest, but that shouldn't account
No.
for all this missing lumber.
No. HawK gets another Shadow Priest as well. 40% of the tech. What do you do now?
When you have a later tech, sometimes you have other big advantages. Big level advantage, more mercenaries, more footies.
Nope. All nope. When of mana stealing can be okay. Defend, okay.
Defend. Perhaps, yeah, that is one thing that HawK doesn't have. That is the lumber, perhaps. And with that defend, actually, and level 4, Romantic's quite a bit stronger right now.
HawK still getting the water elemental kill. Ensnare on the Berserker. HawK not baited by that creep ability. And has some decent exchanges with the +2 armor that he has. Oh, Shadow Priest needs some healing. Survives.
HawK once again trading surprisingly well. He's got the weaker army, just like it was on Echo, but he knows how deep to go in and he doesn't seem to overextend. Not yet. But right now, Romantic is stronger. And with that, perhaps he can snipe the Ogre Magi. The tech is extremely late for Romantic, but he's getting necessary stuff done on the map right now, as it seems.
Level 4. HawK needs 1 kill for level 4. That should be doable. Shadow Priest is far in the back. Still gets the Dispel out.
Militia coming in. Crucial usage right now of them.
HawK's losing more and more. And so is Romantic. Clutch fight in the middle of the map. Good control by HawK once again. Waiting for the Mountain King. Stalling some time. Ensnare, man. HawK and Nets. It's not a good pairing this WGL.
This missing defend is really becoming painful. 4.5 versus 3.8.
But it's only an early game investment. Like, the longer we have the game, or the more of the game we have.
Well, it's true, but it's basically ending up in Romantic getting both merchants, the big mana, and close to level 5.
Yeah. Okay, in the end, big losses for both, and wow, an entire level ahead on the Archmage. That's close to level 5 Archmage.
Level 3 Aura has been really popular lately. That's a lot of footy saves right there. It's also valuable.
Also the Mercs. All 3 still alive. HawK lost 1.
So here comes the MK. Is he going to solo creep him or not? It's pretty tempting to go creeping with the AM now for level 4. I think he's going to do it. Alright, Romantic's back in this game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, a change. Who has the lead? Oh my.
Panda?
Naga?
What? That is super all-in. If he
HawK
doesn't win very soon, this Naga's gonna be absolutely horrifically bad in a Breaker War.
Yeah. Heal scroll. Okay.
Oh, HawK. This is not the time to expand.
No. He doesn't have the resources either. He should retreat, really.
Yeah.
Get more mercs. Hold.
HawK has to fall back. He sees the Naga. He knows, okay. As long as they just survive, get to 50 supply, maybe 60 with breakers, should be looking good for him.
Can't go for Militia at the moment. Will he? Oh, he's supply stuck as well.
Oh, the priests! You can't forget about the priests. Shadow Priest losing that is okay, but the actual priests, they are very valuable.
More experience. Romantic 1 kill away from 5 possibly. And not yet. Needs one more.
Romantic puts it all on black, man. In the final game, he goes all in on the black, which is the aggression, the all-in push.
But he got kills, but not too many. HawK is getting the breakers, has the spell. Should be the faster one. Creeps up now, 2.
But he's not pushing further. Romantic.
Yeah, that's weird.
Wait
He
a
got
minute.
like 3 or 4 kills and now retreats. With the Naga, this shouldn't be happening.
He's got still a lot of footies, a lot of mercs. Is he refusing to go breakers? Is he? What's happening here?
Red spot with Militia?
He goes Naga into creep game.
This is not a good synergy, I can tell you that.
Is he teching tier 3 or something weird?
Book of the Dead, by the way.
A player's forces
For
are under
HawK?
attack.
Look at... There's still no priests! Okay, there comes the first one. First priest now coming in for Romantic.
So late. And we're closing in on 50. Both go for the red spots. HawK has 1 aura advantage with his Book of the Dead. It's a pretty fast red spot for him.
Yeah, I like this book just being used for creeping. If
Yeah.
you don't use it for creeping, it's just going to get dispelled anyways. It's going to minimize the damage on you. More tankiness for the MK.
Both not with an aura.
Oh, expansion on the high ground at
Is
the red camp.
Romantic thinking? We have a heal scroll. We have a mana potion still. Level 3 water elementals, by the way, for the Chinese. Not level 3 aura. Doesn't seem to be a fan of that. Level 2 fork lightning against priests. But this is good for HawK. Prolonging the game. Level 3 Mountain King already. Needs this level 5 Archmage down the road, but I guess he's gonna get it. Still has the TP. There's no disable, no bash, no Stormbolt. Way easier to calculate.
The Naga very far forward.
Doesn't want to punch on this now. Fog Lightning rattles through. Stormbolt on this Naga. She's very squishy.
The next Stormbolt could kill her, but she's out of position.
Also the Archmage. Threaten is around again. This choke could be nice for Romantic though.
Stormbolt level 2 so strong right now.
Not baited into any kind of collapse again.
Falling back a little bit is HawK.
Both break upkeep fast. Romantic is seriously expanding. Romantic is buying quite some time for this expansion. HawK has to scout it. This is a super rare position.
I don't think he's...
Will he scout this?
I don't think he will. This is so weird.
He's expecting something. He's constantly scouting the bottom right. He knows something is up.
Oh, he's going to see it now.
Yeah, he knows it.
Okay, but can he still counter expand? It feels like it's too late for that. HawK may have to go all in against this.
Without a level 5 Archmage. Uphill. Control magic might be nice, but it's so expensive. Invo potion, no. Invo potion on both heroes. I like that move from Romantic a lot.
Yeah, very important. HawK needs to call Militia, I think.
Is there something coming? Yeah. Blue dots. Is it? How many is it? Could just be reinforcements. We start the fight for the Expo, the fight for the semi-final maybe. Berserker falls right away. Archmage a little far forward maybe. Mountain King is surprisingly low. Only has the invo, no healing. Ooh, that was more damage than expected again.
Stormbolt flying, not onto the Naga, onto the Priests instead. 2 involts already have been used. MK getting focused again, but he makes it safely to the back line. Double water elemental dispels there. HawK about to lose 2 of his elementals. Towers are coming up now from the peasants.
But he stormed the high ground. He got the high ground now as well. The advantage for Romantic is gone. How's the mana? Good for the MK. It's now in Arcane Tower range, but the Arcane Tower is gone.
Where are the Stormbolts? These Stormbolts could be key right now. We have control magic coming in. He's getting the level 3 elementals.
Alrighty, that's a lot of summons for the Russian. Fork Lightning once more, hit by the Frost Arrow too. Mountain King wants to commit to something, but doesn't get it. HawK falling down to below 50 supply, but that's level 4.
But he has way more army right here, right now. It's still a lot of stuff in production for Romantic.
HawK.
Water Elemental coming in again. Stormbolt flying, and X-Priest dies. MK in a bit of trouble, but he's getting healed over and over. Yes, it's damage, but it's no stuns hitting this MK.
This Mountain King control improved so much compared to the early stages of this series. Fog Lightning again.
That was the last one. Naga's almost out of mana, but the MK is low HP.
Militia
Flank coming in.
Needs to get something on the Mountain King to save him. Okay, towers by HawK getting cancelled. Naga maybe a little bit out of position. Where are you going with this hammer? There we go, level 5 on HawK's Archmage finally. But now the heroes are low. There's no TP on the Archmage. Yes, how can he? Okay, he retreats. But Romantic is still mining.
HawK's down now by 10 supply.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
Needs a hero kill soonish, I guess. One Invo Potion is gone. But what now? Romantic surviving this push close to level 6. Mass teleport is huge.
If he
HawK
gets
is
this
still-
breaker, that's level 6.
Okay. What now, HawK? What now? You can interrupt it with a Stormbolt. But what? Where's his army? 10 supply down. Still, Romantic continues the chase with a Naga in a human mirror. Oh, Fog Lightning! This Mountain King shall not fall! It's a TP soon!
Oh my god.
Saves it, walks it off.
This cold arrow, man.
Yeah.
Working out surprisingly
Yeah.
well.
Wow.
This AM slowed down.
He
No
has nothing!
TP!
He has nothing! He needs to swap something, but then the Mountain King is exposed. One hero will most likely fall for HawK. He's trying his very best, but the Archmage is down. Level 5, GG! HawK is out! Romantic with the tier 2 early expansion Naga play. The scout was too late.
With a tech so late, Romantic still holds on right there. The expansion, I think, came as a big surprise. It
Yeah.
was scouted at the end of the day, but it was a very late scout. Too late to counter-expand in the Naga, working out so surprisingly well. But I feel like that game wasn't necessarily lost, but he fell far behind when it was about these merchants. HawK got the faster tech, but I think he needed to go into defend after. Having no defend on the footies, he was just pressured off the map, and this AM stole so much experience, so many items, and got to level 5 so quickly.
Romantic had the special place on 2 of these maps. Echo Isles, that was something completely new. And here on Last Refuge, it was something completely new as well with the Naga. For the second time, he's making it to the top 4. GCS Summer 2017 was his most successful run. Back then he was eliminated by Foggy with the 0-2. HawK can't really crown his year. Still, great accomplishment, $1,500 for him. First time making it top 8. I think, yeah, he had the easy group, but he showed us some great games. Everyone here has or had Romantic as the favorite. He gave him a strong fight.
Yep.
If that fight goes a little better at the expansion, just 50-50, he could win this, but yeah, this is how
Absolutely.
Warcraft sometimes is.
Could have gone either way. If we play that best of 5 2-3 more times, it's going to be swinging back and forth. These guys were really evenly matched. It was a fun best of 5 series. HawK unfortunately doesn't make it to the final day to play in the stadium on Saturday. But yeah, top 8, as you said, the first time ever for him in the Gold League. He is in the prize money at the very least, and I think he can be proud of the way he played.
What's the limit for Romantic? We will see it on Saturday. He's in the final 4. His opponent is either Lin or Czech, with Lin, of course, being the big favorite. Can Romantic crown his comeback with a WGL Grand Final? That would be insane. He impressed us all in the summer when he was really hot. Continues to impress here. What a story.
Out of all the humans, if he is the one making it to the final, that would be quite the surprise. Of course, on the other side of the bracket, we have more humans waiting in the wings. HawK and TH are going to be our last match of the day. But let's take this one step at a time. Our next one coming up after what we just saw is going to be Lin versus Czech, a Korean derby. The only Night Elf going up against the only Orc in the top 8.
67 combined years on planet Earth is what they share. An old school battle. Doesn't get much more old school. We'll tell you everything about it once the break is over, which we will go into now. Time for you to go to backtowarcraft.com to take part in the raffle. Who will win WGL and who are you rooting for? 7 Warcraft 3 Reforged, Spoils of War keys on the line. and it's easy to take part. So go there, and while you're at Back to Warcraft, there are quite some links to our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have Discord, and of course links to our YouTube and Twitch as well if you want more competitive Warcraft from us. If you like Warcraft 3 competitive in general, you should hit that follow button here on this brand new channel, twitch.tv/Warcraft3, the official Blizzard Warcraft 3 channel for the competitive part of the game.
Lin versus Czech, man. Lin was one of the scariest player in the group stage. Lin 1-2-0, and I would say it was those two looking absolutely the strongest in their groups, not being challenged too much. We're going to go into a break here. I'm going to come back with the next best of 5, Lin versus Czech, coming up after the break.